Alright, so jumping straight into it, 5 steps to starting an e-commerce business. Step number 1 is to decide on a platform. So if you're not really sure what e-commerce really means, e-commerce is simply the buying and selling of goods through the internet. Now when it comes to selling physical products, the main websites that you can sell your products on are eBay, Amazon, Shopify, or even websites like Etsy. But the e-commerce platforms that I'm going to be focusing on in this video is eBay and Shopify. And the reason for this is because I believe that platforms like eBay and Shopify are a little bit more user-friendly when it comes to beginners. I do sell on Amazon as well, but I believe that over the years they've made it a little bit complicated when it comes to new users trying to build ecom stores. But at the end of this video, you're going to be the one to decide on what platform you want to sell on. So most people believe that eBay is a website that you go onto to buy and sell used items, when realistically there's a lot of businesses that are making a decent amount of income every single year from their eBay business. And the same method that I'm going to show you right now allowed me to make over £282,000 last year in 2021, as you can see right there. The selling cost was around £29,000, but the net sales that I was left with from this new eBay store was over £250,000. So the reason why I like to initially build an eBay store, number 1 is because I'm used to the platform, I'm a customer, so I know how it works. But number 2, they've got a lot of traffic that passes through eBay on a regular basis. So I'm able to use that traffic to my advantage and redirect those customers that bought from my store over to my own website. So step number 1 when it comes to starting an ecom store this year is to decide on a platform that suits you and your business. Alright, so moving down to step number 2, which is do not try and reinvent the wheel. So what do I mean by this exactly? One thing that I've noticed amongst all of my students, or just general people that I come across, is that they always try to reinvent the wheel when it comes to building their e-commerce store. And by this, what I mean is that they're always trying to do something unique, trying to sell a unique product because they believe that's what they need to do to be successful. When realistically, what they need to do is look at someone that's successful with the products that they would like to sell and then basically replicate the success that that person has. As they say, success leaves clues, which means that you can look at someone that's successful and look at what they did to get there and basically copy them. You're not going to copy them exactly in terms of their store name, etc. All you're simply going to do is get inspiration from the products that they're selling, the way that they've been able to build up their store, their inventory base, things like that. That's what I did when I built up my first e-commerce store. I was inspired by someone that was selling the products that I knew that I could also sell successfully. So what I did is that I looked at exactly how they built up their store from the ground up. And from me being inspired by someone else's business, the type of products that they were selling, I've been able to now build up my own e-commerce store in the way that I want to. But I initially had to get inspiration from someone that was successful with the exact same store that I could see myself running in the future. So let's say, for example, you want to sell DIY equipment, screwdrivers, things like that. What you're going to do is jump onto whatever platform that you want to use. So in this case, let's look at this store right here on eBay. They're called Bamford Trading, and as we can see in their About Us section, it says we stock a wide range of tools and hardware, household, outdoor leisure, etc, etc. As we can see, this particular store has been able to sell 1.3 million items from their eBay store. So there's 2 things that you can do from this point. You can either just go through their store, see what type of items that they're selling, try and figure out which one is their best performing product, or what you can do is use a software like Zeek Analytics, which is going to show you exactly which product they sold the most of in the last 30 days. Let me show you exactly how to use it. So what you're going to do is copy their username just like that, and then go over to Zeek Analytics. And then once you're here on the competitor research tab, what you're going to do is just paste their username right in here. Alright guys, so as you can see, Zeek Analytics is able to pull up a lot of useful information, and this is what I used when it came to deciding on what business I wanted to start on eBay and Shopify. I needed to know that the sellers that I was looking up to were actually making money, because there's no point just looking at their store assuming that they're making money. You need to use softwares like this that actually show you that they're bringing in a decent amount of money every single month. So I can see that Bamford Trading is actually bringing in £34,000 every 30 days, which is a lot of money to make from one eBay store. They've got around 20,000 active listings on their store at the moment, which is a lot. But as a beginner, what we can do is look at their top 10 or 15 performing products on their store and then see if we're going to be able to source those products ourselves. So what we need to do from this point is just scroll down, and Zeek Analytics lays out their top performing products from top to bottom. As you guys can see right there, in the last 30 days, they were able to sell 41 different units of this product, 17 of this one, 17 of this one, etc, etc. So from this point, what I would do if I was a beginner is try and see if I can source these products. Now you can use websites like Alibaba.com. I believe that's one of the best websites to use when it comes to sourcing products. But always remember that it's very important that you do not try and reinvent the wheel. Look at someone that's successful, try and replicate their store, but you need to come up with your own brand, which now brings me on to step number 3, which is plan your brand. So this is the process of deciding on what niche you're going to pick. You need to have a firm decision on what your business is going to be centered around in terms of the products and the category that you're going to be focusing on. And at this point, you also need to decide on a business name as well. Now, the reason why it's very important to decide on a good business name is because you're going to check if the store name is available on eBay, and you're also going to check if the store name is available as a domain. When I say domain, domain, I'm talking about www.followedbyyourstorename.com. When it comes to me deciding on a particular domain for my ecom stores, I like to make sure that it's available on all platforms, including Amazon, Shopify, and eBay. If it's not available on all three, if I do want to build an Amazon store, maybe Amazon, I won't necessarily care if it's not available, but I like to make sure that I'm able to buy the domain and also have it as a store name on eBay too. Now the business name needs to be easily identifiable so that any customer that comes across your store is going to automatically know exactly what your business is about. This is one of the crucial things when it comes to starting an ecom store this year. You need to make sure that you brand your store in the best way possible, and it's also very important to make sure on this step when it comes to planning your brand that you do the right research to make sure that no other company has the same store name as you. There's no point in you building up an e-commerce store, putting in a lot of effort to make it happen, just for there to be another business with the exact same name. Now there's so many different reasons why this is a problem, mainly due to the fact that when it comes to customers searching for you on Google, your competitor's store is also going to come up too. With a lot of the brands that I've built up over the years, whenever you type in the name, it's always my store that comes up first. And this is because of SEO, which is search engine optimization. You want to make sure that there's no conflicting brands with the exact same name or similar names to your business. So these are the key things that you need to do when it comes to branding your store. Figure out what logo you want, what store name you want, see if there's any companies with similar names. If there's not, that's when you can now proceed to start buying the domain and building out your brand. I'm moving down to step number 4, which is to just start. So I've got hundreds of different students that I've come across that have joined my step-by-step guides, whether it's Project eBay or Project Shopify. In 2 of these different programs, what I do is I show my students exactly what they need to do step by step when it comes to either starting an eBay store or a Shopify dropshipping store. Links for them down below in the description. And the main difference between the successful students and the unsuccessful ones are the successful ones go through the entire course, learn what they need to learn about starting the process, and then they just start. The unsuccessful ones don't start the process. They don't even sign up to eBay or Shopify. They don't do anything. The main key to doing anything is to just start. Now, I'm not going to say that I'm immune to this myself, because when it comes to starting businesses, even now, I always notice that the hardest part is to always start. Even though I know that there's money to be made, or even though I know that there's, some sort of reward at the end of the tunnel, it's always hard to start. And this is the one key thing that you guys need to know if you want to build a successful e-commerce business this year. One really good quote that I heard many years ago is that 1,000 footsteps always start with the first step. So for you to get anywhere, you need to take that initial step. So whether that's you signing up to some sort of program so that you can get some sort of step-by-step guidance, or even if it's you using the information in this video or my other videos, but you need to take some sort of action for there to be some sort of potential for your dreams to come true. So these were the 4 steps that I needed to go through personally for me to be able to make over 7 figures in sales through my e-commerce business. If you want to know the 5 steps that I needed to take for me to see a certain level of financial freedom from my eBay store, then click right there. If you enjoyed this video, then you're definitely going to enjoy that one. Don't forget, if you want to join my programs where I show you step by step how to build an eBay store and a Shopify store, you can check them out in the description down below. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to press the like button. Don't forget to subscribe as well. Hit the bell notification so that YouTube can let you know when a new video has been released. Alright guys, I'll see you on the next one. Make sure you stay safe out there. Peace.